We are looking at matrix multiplication at the moment, and I've got one matrix being multiplied by another matrix. The very first thing we need to worry about whenever we're multiplying two matrices together is wondering if we can indeed multiply these two together. So we'll look at this one. The first thing we need to do is classify this one, and when we classify a matrix, we do it by the number of rows by the number of columns. Okay, so this one, if we look at this, has 3 rows and 1 column. So this one would be a 3 by 1 matrix. Okay, over here we've got 2 rows, 1 row and 2 columns. So this one is going to be a 1 by 2 matrix. Remember, it's the number of rows by the number of columns. So this one has 1 row, 2 columns. Okay, now that we have that information, what we want to focus on is these middle 2 numbers here. If these middle 2 numbers are the same, then we can indeed multiply these two together. The technical rule on this is if the number of columns in the first matrix equal the number of rows in the second matrix, we can multiply the two. But basically, as long as these two middle numbers match up, as long as you're writing them in this order and the 2 middle numbers match up, we're good to go. Alright, the next component here is that we need to focus on the outer numbers, this 3 and the 2. This will be what our answer is. Our answer is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. And the technical rule on it is the answer will be the number of rows in the first matrix by the number of columns in the second matrix. But basically, if you just look at these outer 2 numbers, then we can see that this one, the first one's a 3, the last one's a 2. Our answer will be a 3 by 2 matrix. Alright, so now I'm going to move that up and out of the way just so we have some room to work here. You'll notice that I color-coded these. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to understand where I'm getting my numbers from in a minute. But we know that our final one is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. So we can kind of look at what a 3 by 2 matrix here. We've got 3 rows, 2 different columns. Alright, so let's get started here. The first one here, we're going to multiply each one of these rows by each one of these columns. Okay, and this one's really not a bad one because we only have, the rows only have one component, and these columns in the second one only have one component, so it kind of makes it nice for us. So the first row is 3, the first column here is 4, so we go 3 times 4. Okay, and 3 times, we'll work that through a little bit further. 3 times 4 we know is 12, so we're going to write our answer right here in the upper left-hand corner. The second one is 1 times 4. 1 times 4 is going to simply be 4, so we'll put that right here. And this one we've got a negative 3 times 4. Again, we're multiplying each row by each column here. There just happens to be one component in each, which makes it nice for us. So we've got a negative 3 times 4. Negative 3 times 4 is 12, so we'll write our answer here. So if you notice here, each one of these I've got a red, a blue, and a green. All of these are lined up perfectly right here, as well as the first column in our second matrix is all right here. These are all 4s. You'll start to see a pattern kind of develop there. But let's keep working through our second one here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply this row by this column now. So 3 times 0 would be the first one. 3 times 0 is 0, so we'll write our answer over here on the right, upper right-hand corner, because that's where this one was found. Next we have 1 times 0, and 1 times 0 is 0, so we'll write our answer over here on the right-hand side in the middle. Last one is negative 3 times 0. And negative 3 times 0 is also 0, so we'll write our answer over here in the bottom right-hand corner. So this is our answer right here. This is our new matrix. When we multiply those two together, this is what our final answer will be. And the big thing is that we're multiplying each one of these rows by each one of the columns. And you'll notice here how our columns are lined up. This is 3, 1, negative 3, 3, 1, negative 3. And each of these columns are also lined up 4s and then 0s. So hopefully you're starting to kind of see the pattern a little bit.